This is a 1970 Buick Centurion. This is a really big car, and these cars back in the day, they came with a big block, and this one has a 455 cubic inch Buick big block engine in it. It's here for a simple rebuild. The motor runs good, it just has low oil pressure, and so we're going to tear it out, hand it to the machine shop, and have them rebuild it. Let's make that happen. This is the engine bay that we're starting with. Hopefully it'll look a little bit different going back together. You guys know how we do. This is before we get started. This is before we take a single nut or bolt off. This is the way it rolled in. And it drives good like this. I've taken it around the block, it runs great. It doesn't overheat, it's nice, it's smooth. But when it's up to operating temperature, there's no oil pressure. The motor's quiet, you don't hear any noise, but when you put it down into gear, you see the oil pressure just drop to nothing. So, it's time. We don't think this motor has ever been rebuilt since it was new, so we actually think this is going to be its first rebuild. It is time to get this engine out of this car. These old cars are really big, and with the front bumper on, our cherry picker on its own isn't long enough to reach to the engine. So we have a couple of pry bars jammed into the cherry picker, and then we have a hook, our chain and hook wrapped around the pry bars, so we got our extra little extension to get the motor out. But it's not a small lightweight LS engine, right? This is a big block. It's a solid cast iron 455 Buick motor. It's got cast iron intake on it. Our pry bars held and worked, but I don't think we'll go back together that way. I think going back together, we'll probably make a bracket if we have to. It'll bolt through this bolt hole and extend us out a little bit. Maybe I'll even get some square stock or something that'll fit in here and make a really nice extension just to give us a quick 1 or 2 inches. Just what we need to get this to go in without putting the engine hoist into the front bumper of the car. gloves stuffed in there.
Beats me.
Tomorrow morning, we'll pull the intake off, we'll take the flex plate off, and then we'll take the whole long block and we'll drop it off at Cylinder Head Exchange. Jim out there at Cylinder Head Exchange in Fort Lauderdale does great work, man. He's out off of Prospect Road. We have never had a single problem with them, with any of the heads we've given them, with any machine work they've done. The Cylinder Head Exchange is just a great machining facility. This is to be continued. We're going to call it a night.